1 year ago, I brought home a 1-year-old Arabian colt named Santiago, which quickly became Teego. I remember the excitement, the nerves, the feeling that I was stepping into something that I couldn't really see just yet. I didn't know what the next year would bring, but I definitely knew it would be a journey I'd never forget. So today, I want to take you back through our first year together. The highs, the lows, the challenges, and the small wins that made it all worth it. The first days were magical, but at the same time nerve-wracking. Everything was new for the both of us. I was still figuring out who he was, and he was still figuring out who I was. There wasn't really any trust between us yet. Every little thing, from leading him to grooming him, it felt like such a big milestone. For the first time ever, I was able to do this with my own horse. Behind the excitement, there was also a lot of uncertainty. I asked myself, am I ready for this? Am I really capable of racing a young horse? Still, Teego's curiosity and playfulness made every moment feel special, and the fact that after years and years of wanting an Arabian horse, I finally had one right in front of me, that was absolutely indescribable. Of course, racing a young horse isn't all magical. There were plenty of tough moments, times when he pushed boundaries, when he got spooked, or when I simply didn't know what the right thing to do was. It's such a big responsibility to be completely responsible for such a big animal's well-being. One very big change that came way quicker than expected was changing stables. The first stable I brought Teego to didn't really work out well for either of us, and luckily I very quickly found a stable where we would move to. At this stable, both of us felt at home quite quickly, and it's still one of the best decisions I made during this past year. It wasn't easy though. At the start of his bonding process with some paddock buddies, I had to be there for hours every day in the wind, rain, cold, and even a little snow. Why? Because my intelligent, lovely little Arabian had decided that if he didn't know what to do with other horses anymore, he would simply go through the electrical fence to escape the situation. Not really ideal. Luckily, he never got hurt during this other than a few minor scrapes. After weeks of me being there 2 to 4 hours per day, the boys got along well enough for me to give up my fence guard duty. There were many days I doubted myself and days when training didn't go to plan, but every challenge was also a lesson about patience, consistency, and meeting him where he was, not where I thought he should be. Many times I thought that we had had a breakthrough with training and that the next session we would be right back to square one. And I had to realize that that was absolutely fine and didn't always mean that I was doing something wrong. Slowly though, things started to change. Teego began to trust me more and I began to trust him. We worked through obstacles together, faced many scary new things, and celebrated the smallest victories. One of my favorite parts of this year has been watching his confidence grow. In a recent metaphor, Teego is now able to go from kicking at bubbles because he's scared to blowing bubbles himself in a few minutes. His curiosity always wins from his fear in the long run, which is a really nice trait for him to have. Trailer loading? Not a problem because he's curious to see what's inside. New trash can? Not a problem, because he wants to see if he can eat it. Umbrella? Cool, can I put that in my mouth? Saddle cloth? I really don't care. Luncheon girth? Don't care. Did you see that sheep? Cows? Cool, they have funny spots. Working with Teego really is a collection of moments where you expect him to be afraid and he isn't. And he wouldn't be a proper horse if he then didn't spook at a leaf falling. Another really cool experience was us going away from the stable with a group of other horses to go swimming nearby. Before that, we'd never gone that far away from the stable. I was an absolute nervous wreck the entire day because I was terrified of the very small chance he was going to run off in traffic. As it turned out, I shouldn't have worried at all. He was one of the most well-behaved horses of the group and didn't set a foot in the wrong direction. Since that experience, we've started to go on longer and longer walks with just the two of us, and that hasn't given us any trouble either. We've even had military planes flying very low over our heads without so much as a hiccup. We also walked past a huge digger driving towards us and he didn't even bat an eyelid. Every step with him has been proof that patience and trust pays off. But the real joy hasn't just been in the training, it's been the little moments. Him coming when I call him. Him wanting his scratches, him immediately cuddling with me after my 7-week internship abroad, him sleeping in piles of hay and everybody sending me pictures of it. This year, Teego has taught me so much more than just horse training. He's taught me resilience, he's taught me to slow down and appreciate progress, no matter how small. And he's shown me that connection is built in everyday moments, not just big breakthroughs. He's also made me a calmer person. I'm much more aware of my level of nerves now, and I'm able to calm down again way quicker than I ever could before. When you're in, and I can't imagine a life without him. We've already come such a long way, but really, this is only the beginning. Raising a young horse isn't always easy. It's messy, unpredictable, and sometimes very overwhelming. But it's also one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. Thank you for being part of our journey so far, and if you want to see some of the training moments I talked about throughout this video,